Hey everyone, I wanted to reach out to my fellow uh, early intervention providers and just to let you know it's about 8:50 and I just finished my last um, conference call. I've been on calls all day talking to people, uh, responding to emails and connecting with people. And I wanted to take a moment to let you know that I've been thinking of each and every one of you. I've been following some of the posts that you guys have put on online, seeing our response to our surveys at the IDTA, um, taking a look at the emails, and I just wanted to let you know I feel you and I understand. Right now, everybody's going through a variety of different feelings that you may have had. Uh, you're going to be dealing with anger, frustration, despair, sadness, a multitude of feelings that you will go through or have already gone through in the last several days. Um, and so I just want to let you know that I understand that and that I wonder, you know, what it must feel like to be you right now, right? It's I know that some of you are worried about how you're going to pay for bills, uh, worried about, you know, how you're going to be able to kind of support your families and what's the best way of being able to do that. Worried about making sure you're doing the right thing when you're following through with these phone conference calls with the families. Um, and kind of trying to kind of think out the box of how to be able to, provide services and support families during this time. Um, I've also been thinking about the families in early intervention, and I want you to join me for a second to kind of wonder what they must be feeling. The mother who's worried about, her young child who may be immunocompromised and worried about, if this pandemic should, increase and the amount of children with, the amount of people with coronavirus should potentially impact her child, what that would mean for her and the fears that's around that. Um, the mother or father that are worried about, you know, going out to the grocery store and being able to get the foods that they need for their picky eater. And what if they don't have the specific type of crackers that they eat and the only thing that they'll have is those crackers? Um, or the parents that are worried about their own financial well-being right now, as maybe, they were servers and are, no longer able to go into work and dependent on those tips to be able to pay for the rent. And they're still having to, worry about the well-being of their child with special needs or developmental delays. Um, what do they need from us right now? I've also thought about, throughout these days, kind of like how our fellow EI, partners in the system are feeling, our advocates and how hard they're working and trying to, again, keep up with the rapid pace of changing information and trying to do best to kind of advocate on your behalf. Our system partners that are like our CFCs, our CFC managers, and trying to make sense of how to best make this work without necessarily being in the office. And our service coordinators, as they're worried about how am I going to handle all these meetings, and having access to everything I need to be able to make sure I'm getting things done, um, for these families. Um, and I think about the leaders of our early intervention system, our bureau chief, and how difficult it must be for her right now as she's trying to do the best she can to address all of the different needs that are coming up and all the things that she's being asked to do and as one person, um, feeling the weight of a whole system, trying to kind of work within the constraints of the system, and to do the best we can on short notice to, equally protect the health of the families that we serve, and also ensure that they're getting their services at some level. Uh, so during this time, as we practice social distancing, it's also important for us to kind of practice emotional connectedness, and to try and put ourselves in each other's shoes for a moment, and feel what somebody else may be feeling. Because over the long haul of this, you know, crisis that we're under, um, we're going to need to lean on each other. We're going to need to trust each other. We're going to need to, um, lift each other up. And if there's anything that I know about EI providers, is that we have a big heart. We care. We've shown it time and time again. And so, as you go out through these weeks, remember to think about each other, be there for each other, and try and support one another, because that is going to be the way we're going to get through this. We've done it before, we'll do it again. And um, as one collective unit who is always here to advocate for families, we will figure out the best way of moving forward during this time. So um, I can't give you guys a hug because that's a big no-no right now. But I'm going to send out these thoughts of, well-being, and a good heartfelt, I feel ya, I understand ya, and I ask you to do the same for each other. Have a nice night, everybody.